Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Bouldering Weekly. I'm Joe, I'm here with Brian. Brian's going to introduce himself, tell you a little bit about his climbing history, some of what he does for a living, and we're going to be discussing the fact that Metro Rock in Littleton has an extreme goal of becoming the first nationally recognized zero waste facility. So Brian, take it away.
Joe? Well, I started climbing in 1997, and I was working for a Raytheon company, and I just retired after 33 years in that career, and I focused on environmental compliance, and I also did zero waste management for the sites. During my tenure there, I was able to get the first 6 sites certified as zero waste sites. First in Massachusetts to be certified, as well as the first in the defense industry to be certified.
Nice.
In the aerospace industry. So I retired about a year and a half ago at this point, and became more engaged in the gym here. One of the investors, and I also said that there are no gyms in the country right now that are zero waste, certified as zero waste, and I thought that would be a nice thing to try to achieve. Obviously, most climbers are very into the environment. That's why they're out there climbing, to enjoy the outside, and I thought it would be really good combination to have focus on zero waste for a climbing gym. That's where I'm at.
Like one of the things that I like about the Littleton gym is like the every other Sunday clinics that Aaron usually gets together. Do you see a clinic coming up where you talk to us about how we can lower our impact even more as far as like our habits in the gym and outdoors? Because
Right.
I know myself, I think when I come indoors, I'm not as conscious as if I'm outside.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I've done basically in the gym, I've actually done training for the employees a couple of times now. Kind of introduced them to the whole concept of zero waste, and then to get them to really embrace the program and to be the ambassadors of the program for here, and basically to help any of the visitors that are here to understand and do the right thing when it comes to, they might have a napkin. Where does it go? One thing we have here is we have 4 streams that we collect for recycling. We do single stream, we do compost, and we do have trash. And kind of a unique program we have here is we collect batteries. And those batteries are not usually generated from the gym. We're allowing any of the customers to come in and have an outlet to be able to recycle their batteries, which is one of the programs that you don't see that often out there, because some people will say alkaline batteries aren't that bad for the environment. Waste is waste, and the whole point of zero waste is you don't treat anything as trash, you treat everything as a resource. And you don't waste resources, so you try to find a home for the resource. And that could be reducing it, reusing it, recycling it, re-earthing it as in compost. A lot of people think there's 3 R's. There's actually 12 R's.
Wow.
So don't ask me to say what the 12 R's are.
Yeah, we don't want to get too deep on this, but it's like
Every foot placement is precise and secure. For this, that's all right. You can tell how high I am. You can tell where Brian's coming up through. Look at him peeking through there. And it is ascend. Jerry's down there about to give him the master lower. One of Brian's most trusted belayers, I believe. Dan's been down there holding me in place quite well. Thank you, Dan.
So I'm a 70s kid. all of this is really new to me still. I'm still learning. I have a 20-year-old daughter that really like puts her foot down sometimes. And I realized when I was thinking about talking with you about this, some of the different little things that I need to change myself that I'm just unconscious of, right? Like, our buddy Ralph talks about that a pack's not a pack without a headlamp. So I got a headlamp, and it's still not even opened. One thing that really bothers me is overpackaging, right? But then at the same time, I'm like, well, overpackaging bothers me. We recycle batteries at the Littleton gym, just regular alkaline batteries, and it hit me, it's like, I would probably use this headlamp, and when it died, at $20 for a headlamp, I might just buy a new headlamp, have more overpackaging, and batteries that aren't being recycled, and like, sometimes I gotta break it down in my own wallet, because like, $8 for new batteries is still cheaper than the $20, and like, so much less junk being tossed away, you know, so it's just, it kills me. So what do I do with my cigarette butts when I'm here? Because what I was doing is, unconsciously, I would finish it, I would flick it, and then a buddy of mine called me out, he's like, bro, I'm like, they degrade, you know, because of the tobacco, but like, the filter takes forever, right? So I'd stick them in my little side pocket, and then I'd forget to empty them, and I'm like doing my laundry, and I find them like 2 weeks later. So I come in now, and it's like, should I break the tobacco half off to go into like compost and the filter into someplace else, or should it just all go into compost? Like,
Well, one thing I do say in the zero waste world, it's not a perfect world yet. You know, but everyone's got to do their little part to make it better.
Right.
And that's the important thing. You know, as I've said when I've done training here, making this gym a zero waste gym isn't going to change climate.
right.
Isn't going to impact climate change dramatically. But if everyone had that attitude, you know, we wouldn't go anywhere.
Right.
So it's like, you know, the whole thing with it is you got to continue on the journey. You got to continue to push it. You know, if all the gyms became certified as zero waste,
Right.
and then that just went to the next level and just keeps expanding it, then all of a sudden it has a huge impact.
Right.
So I often would do a training program about a piece of paper. Somebody throws a piece of paper in the trash. Like, what are you doing? It's like, well, it's just one piece of paper. And it's like, well, your one piece of paper. See, I'm working in a business, an industry that has 3,300 people working here. If every one of those people that worked here did the same thing, there'd be 3,300 pieces of paper
And then
thrown
multiply
away.
that throughout the work
Multiply that by
Yeah.
that's one day and then 5 days during the week, and all of a sudden that one piece of paper becomes many, many tons of
Right.
paper
I was about to
over
say
the year.
like a ton or more.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's not just a piece of paper. It's not just a cigarette butt.
Right.
Now, believe it or not, there are programs to recycle cigarette butts.
Really? The filter end.
The entire, yes.
Interesting.
It's a collection process that you have to send it off site.
Because it's funny
to
too,
recycle.
right? Like, it's weird. It's one of these places where I gotta like really train my own brain, because when I'm in the city, I'm just kind of like, bet. If I go to Rumney or Quincy Quarries or any place like that, they go right in my pocket or my backpack. It's a weird mindset thing, you know, and I really gotta like try and change that.
Way to stay on.
trying to change that. We were here last week, we got pizza. And it's interesting because if you come up here and you visit, right, like Brian said, you'll see the 3 different trash barrels, right? You'll see the trash, you'll see the recycle, you'll see the compost. And it makes you think, like,
Not,
okay,
not
so
3 different trash, 3 different resources.
okay, 3 different resource bins. 3 different resource bins. And it's like, where do I put this? Like, I knew, okay, the paper that has the little bit of oil drippings or whatever, that would go compost. I knew like the wax paper with the oil drippings, compost. The pizza crust, compost. But I was like, well, what do I do with the pizza box? Right? And I guess that went to compost as well, which was interesting.
I mean, again, if you're gonna, part of being zero in the zero waste world is you always work on the highest and best use of materials. Okay, so one is, do we have to generate that pizza box to start off with? Okay, most places you're gonna receive a cardboard box, and you can end up having to dispose of it one way or another. It's a compost, recycle, or whatever. We're actually working with the local pizza facility at the point here, Anthony's, and we're trying to work a program that they'll have a reusable pizza box. So when there's parties here, they'll actually use that reusable pizza box. So at the end of the day, that will be returned back to them, be washed, and nothing is generated as waste.
Nice.
So those are the, the little things that you have to work when you're trying to get to zero waste. Those little programs, it's like one at a time.
Right. Some key things that us members visiting here can do to really help achieve that goal?
Well, the biggest thing is just to be conscious of zero waste. When we're focusing this on the zero waste, Jim, but we'd like to have everyone have a zero waste life.
Right.
So we're trying to convey what you can do within this site here. But reality is we'd like to be able for you to take it home, focus on zero waste at home, and then communicate those skills that you've learned here to other people. To again, it's the domino effect.
Right.
And it's we're not going to change the world overnight, but it's one domino at a time.
Well,
So-
I think that's one of the things that I like most about Metro Rock as a whole is if you've never climbed before and you just like say, okay, you know what, I seen this on Ninja Warrior, I seen this on this or that, and you come into the gym and you want to give rock climbing a try, there's all kinds of introductory classes, and the community that we have as a whole, like no matter where I go, it feels like home. Everybody's trying to like almost invite and welcome you into the outside world, and so I think that's one of the most important factors of the zero waste goal is what you were just saying. It's like you can come here as a climber, and I know myself, I'm starting to see like those little things of like how I act at the crag and the gym can be completely different to my outside climbing life, or when I'm not out in nature life, that this little thing really helps make us more conscious of what we're doing. So
Yeah.
it's pretty neat.
That's our goal is, again, to bring the awareness to everyone,
Right.
and just go with it from there.
So where can we find like more self-educating resource on how to become like zero waste? Like, I don't know if it's really completely obtainable as an individual in this society, but it must be pretty close.
It is. I have a zero waste world at home.
Yeah?
You know, I mean, that's my focus.
It's dedication.
Well, it's what I do. It's
Yeah.
what I believe in, and it's
Right.
you know. So the Green Business Certification Inc. (GBCI), they're the same organization that certifies buildings as green, referred to as through the LEED program. They're the same organization that now certifies facilities as zero waste. And that program is called TRUE, Total Resource Use and Efficiency, TRUE, which is basically zero waste. So I'm actually on their advisory board right now. I retired from Raytheon, and I'm still staying a bit in the consulting end right now personally, and still promoting zero waste and still trying to do my part in the zero waste field. So part of that is through that organization right now.
Awesome.
So yeah, you can actually go online and search GBCI True Zero Waste, and you will find a lot more information about zero waste.
So what are some things that we should be focusing on when we're out in the world at the crags?
Well, I mean, obviously the goal is to have as little impact as possible. So, simple things is just staying on the trail and obviously not littering and having as little impact. Food, the same thing is
Like, don't just toss your apple core.
it will compost, but
Yeah.
I mean, it depends where you are and how long it's going to take, and again, it's just limiting your impact. Is the biggest thing.
All right, well, Brian, pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Joe.
Always a pleasure climbing with you, and hopefully I will see you Wednesday.
You will.
Cool. I gotta get